Hi, episode 3 in the bag. See if I can make this a quick video. Oh, and also, if you prefer for me to get these out a bit earlier, like Fridays, just let me know. I've just been doing them a little later so that people can have a chance to watch the episodes. But I can let you know my thoughts Fridays. So, episode 3. Better than episode 1? Yes. Better than episode 2? Yes. The best episode it could ever be? It's debatable. So, how do we do this one? We start out by entering the city through a circus style, is what I'm going to refer to it as, a circus style performance with different players doing their own thing, which doesn't quite go the way they were hoping it does, which traps them and springing surprises rarely do in this circumstance. However, Matt's character does a great job. We have some side stuff with Amelia's character, with Liam, which is weird but kind of works. Ashley's character winds up putting in a bit of a performance along with Robbie's character, which does draw the attention of the nameless ones, which leads us next into our chase scene, if you will. Through some good stealth rolls, we duck into a corner. Matt pulls out another great performance, which is Matt. Of course, he's going to, which lets us easily transition into Gilmore's Glorious Goods. Few weird things going on in Gilmore's Glorious Goods for me. First, we've got the anime style, overly horny store clerk. I don't know the point of that store clerk, but I guess it kind of goes with Gilmore's over-the-top presence, which is something that changed in her version. We have an older Gilmore. He's not as flamboyant. That extra energy wasn't there. Part of me is wondering if that's because she didn't want to attempt the voice and just kind of do a really bad job, knowing that people like me or others out there would be like, you really screwed this up. Still, I would have liked to have seen her at least try the Gilmore voice. Now, here's my issues with the Gilmore scene. The beginning stuff, the Gilmore scene, I kind of want to focus on. Gilmore notices that Ashley's character has been poisoned, saying that I can sense, the room pops up and all this, I can sense magical things. I'm a room child and I can tell that you're poisoned. There's a character with jet black eyes in the room. Your rooms didn't pick up any of that, huh? I mean, jet black. That ain't normal. Oh, what about the evil circlet? It's like it's radiating evil, but you don't notice that. You notice somebody has been poisoned because it's magic. That their poison is magic. I didn't think poison was magic. That's on me, I guess. Whatever. So we go to the next weird thing where Matt's character looks in a mirror. Liam's character points him to a fool in his mirror, looks in it, and it's like, oh my God, now I see spiders crawling on people's faces and stuff. And it's just like, shouldn't that have already been in effect? Like, your eyes are jet black, and based on what, those of us who, looked at the magic item, understand about the magic item, yes, he hadn't put it on, but still, he should be seeing these spiders outside of looking in a mirror. Like, why give a character black eyes that they may never see to see spiders? I don't know. I feel like, because at this point, I think he's touched the ground twice. That should be a regular effect. So, that's where that was a little weird for me. In fact, I think somebody in the comments mentioned from the previous episode that, that was also glazed over a time or two. So Gilmore fixes our eyes for us, and we kind of transition into Gilmore doesn't know what this rune is. We're going to be sent on this side quest. So far, we've had a beginning. We transition to a middle, and the story is just, we're here, we're moving, like it has flowing. We're getting our next quest. There's a pure line, if you will, happening for a change. And so we get that, and now shopping episode. Shopping episodes don't really bother me. I'm not the type that gets bothered by it unless it becomes like long and drawn out. Which it did get to a point where Abria herself was a bit like, I'm sick and done with this. It felt more like they were just kind of looking through the magic item section on D&D Beyond. Maybe there was a particular list of stuff they could have bought. I'm not 100% sure. I like the idea of when you go into a magic shop as a DM, the players are asking, what does this store have, and you give them a description of a few items, not players just picking their own stuff. That's probably a nitpicky thing, but that's the way I do it. I feel like it gives it more life, if you will. A player should be able to just go, I want this, this, and this. Can I buy it? Like that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But from there, we get ready to leave, which Gilmore has got us transport to get to the edge of town. So we go outside, we stand in front of Gilmore's. As players often do, they forget about what was happening beforehand, and we're playing our instrument outside. Got new glasses, they're kind of adjusting them. We roll to see what happens next. A bit of a behind the curtain sort of thing, which is, based on what happened next, I don't think a roll was necessary. I think that because they asininely played music in front of the store, knowing they were being chased, and that Gilmore would be someone that the nameless ones would definitely keep, a lookout on the shop. However, we rolled, which still leads to the same situation. We're heading out of town, and cart comes to a stop. We poke our head out. Immediately, an arrow comes whizzing by one of our characters' heads. We realize, oh crap, we're caught. Beginning, middle, we're coming to the end. It's giving a bit more of that excitement back to us. This is where my next issue sort of pops up. We poked our head out. We immediately got shot at. We started to have a conversation in the back of the caravan. The DM goes, and playing the character, I can hear every word you're saying. I can hear you, right? We've already said, should we send the circlet to Gilmore's? We were letting her know we've got it on us. The way they were speaking in the back of the cart, if you're going to do the butt spear pokes and all, we heard you have the item that I'm looking for with you. So we actually start the cart after we said we don't have it. Regardless, I know you got it. I don't understand that scene because you said you got it. I'm listening to you trying to figure out how you're gonna convince me you don't have this item. Maybe that's me being a little picky. I don't think so. Next major issue. You go and cast a spell. Me, the big bad, listening to you in the cart. Now it all depends on how you let your players cast their magic. So let me be a little clear on that. If your players subtle cast, if you will, their spells through their natural speech pattern, or however it goes. Obviously, she couldn't see you doing any of the hand movements or whatnot. You can get away with casting a spell. The big bad goes under the spell's effect. Ashley's character walks out of the back of the cart. Not a single arrow is fired. No spear thrust, no knife slashing, nothing. We auto shot at you when you stuck your head out of the cart. We don't do anything to you as you step out the back of the cart, as you walk up to our boss. Mind you, we've now been, 25 other people are out there. You walk up to my boss, you kiss them. I would surmise in a group of 25 people, someone's a magic user. Someone is understanding that the boss's physicality and presence has changed. I would wager that. But we do nothing. We let you walk up to our boss. No one surrounded us. That we didn't come closer. We let you kiss our boss, hop on the cart, and ride on down the road. That didn't make any sense to me. Maybe she threw 25 out there as just a number to be like, oh, that's how bad the situation was for you. Creative DMing after the fact. That didn't make a lot of sense to me. That should have been a fight, regardless. And the reason I say that before anybody comes at me is because we've already seen, I don't know if it's episode 1 or episode 2, but it's the fight where Amy's character charms that one guard and they walk off. We've already seen that she doesn't treat charmed person as I'm gonna follow you. We've already learned that her version of charmed person is that they are mentally aware of everything else around them. They're just a bit more accommodating to you. You still have to convince them to do stuff. It's not an auto success based on her version, her own version of charmed person. And we just let them go. Doesn't make sense to me. But this is where it gets interesting again, is that as we're leaving, Matt's character reaches in there again, grabs the circlet, not one mention of your eyes go black again or no increased effect. Maybe that'll come up in the beginning of the next episode. Reaches in there where he can still see them. Sykes, joke. They let out a horrid scream. And none of the 25 other people do anything. I'm not going to say I was ever part of a secret organization. I've been a part of organizations. And nowhere would that ever fly. That's probably that and the Gilmore not noticing stuff. Those are my only real issues with that episode. A lot of the other stuff I can kind of look over. I would prefer them to figure out what mystery is, because the whole now you're a monkey and you're gonna throw feces and you're doing parlor tricks. I'd like them to figure out if he's a monkey or if he's a fire elemental taking the shape of a monkey. That's a nitpicky thing for me. It's a bit distracting, but please figure out what monkey is. Those are my only real thoughts. Best episode so far. I'm hoping it only gets better, because this time we had a beginning, a middle, and an end. Didn't quite end the way I was thinking it was going to end, which, that's fine, whatever. But beginning, middle, and end is the first episode. We've seen that. We'll see what happens next. Let me know your thoughts. Oh, on that note, Dr. Limpkin. If you do need a tavern name, his comment was perfect. Use a Magic the Gathering card. You can buy them for next to nothing. Have a tavern name. It'll give you, like they said, a backstory to figure out how you got it and all that kind of stuff. Stan Van R, yes. The reason Critical Role is special is the quality of the story. And that's because it was a home game by a group of friends who weren't worried about all the other BS. They could have a quality friendship game. Putting Exandria Unlimited together with just randos, you weren't going to get that quality. Sometimes you can spark that magic, but it wasn't going to happen. So I'm not really sure why people are like, she's just as great. Those are fake fans. Those are fake fans. Dan Van Lee, yes, her "This Is My World Now" attitude. That's one of the things that does definitely throw me from this show. When you've got Matt sitting there at the table, and you're like, "This is my world. I'm gonna do whatever I want to do," and ha ha ha, this is canon now. I'm not a fan of it, but you know, there's nothing I can do about it. But I agree with you. Like it's really crappy. Bubba Littis. Yes, like it was sold as like Abria does this great job, and you know I know her from other shows. You know, I think before this it was like the Roll 20 Presents stuff she was kind of doing. If you're gonna sell somebody as a pro DM, they need to play like a pro DM. She definitely plays like it's her first time at that seat, and she picked like one or two things, and it's like, oh, that's all I need. I don't have to prepare for anything else. It's like. It's very, it started out very amateurish. Timothy Burbage, why she did him in 2 shows, you and I both know why. And yes, it started out that Liam's character had no business even being in that party. Personally, had I been in charge of this show, based on the way they sold it to us, these are other people's stories in Exandria. Matt's not at the DM seat. It should have been new DM, brand new players, none of the original cast, newbies in the VO space coming out here and doing the job. Granted, I would hope to never ever see Critical Bartle there because I think that would be just disaster trash. But that's how they should have done it. Brand new people from the VO space. If they want to bring in some of their more vocal name rip-offers, whatever. But that's what I would have done. Maybe at most, Matt starts the episode 1 out as Artagan. He's in the chair. Of course, darling. And he is watching a new group of players. He sees something come about. There might be some new chaos brewing. I want to watch this. Fade to black. Pop in Abria. Pop in 5, 6 new cast members. I think we all would have looked at this as a bit of a different style of show. Anyway, again, like I said, let me know your thoughts. Best episode so far, but granted, there's only been 3. It is what it is.